Welcome to FindLaw's 5 in 5, a recap of 5 interesting legal stories from FindLaw.com in about 5 minutes. I'm Joe Fabush, a senior writer and lawyer here at FindLaw. Here we go. The Supreme Court case everyone is talking about this week could have a large impact on the so-called administrative state. A 40-year-old doctrine called Chevron deference may be on the chopping block. The doctrine holds that courts should defer to federal agency interpretations regarding gaps in laws or unclear provisions. However, conservative justices at oral arguments on Wednesday, January 17th, seem to favor its repeal. The case is Loper Bright Enterprises v. Raimondo, but honestly, the details are not that relevant. The important matter is whether Chevron deference survives. If it doesn't, the outcome could really reshape regulatory power. A decision is expected in June. Another recent legal change with a potentially broad impact involves independent contractors. The use of independent contractors is prevalent and controversial, especially for workers in the gig economy. The trucking industry has historically used independent contractors for interstate trucking, for example, and Uber and Lyft famously use independent contractors for their rideshare services. That may change. The U.S. Department of Labor has set forth new worker classifications to identify those workers who should have employee status due to their economic dependence, and therefore receive benefits and protections as an employee. The 6-part test may make it easier for independent contractors to become employees. The implementation of the rule is scheduled for March 11, 2024. With all that's going on in the world, you may feel like escaping to go see a movie. Unfortunately for movie giant AMC, they may not be able to run away from a legal battle of their own. AMC Theaters ended up apologizing recently for ejecting Reverend William Barber, a North Carolina resident with ankylosing spondylitis. He was ejected from the screening because he brought his own chair to the theater. Barber's disability prevents him from using standard theater seats. Did AMC's actions violate the Americans with Disabilities Act? ADA claims can be controversial in the legal world, but AMC has previously faced ADA violations that resulted in court-ordered improvements. Issues about reasonable accommodations in public spaces go well beyond AMC, and businesses may want to allow customers to bring their own chairs, even if those chairs aren't traditional wheelchairs. Under the Sixth Amendment, you have the right to representation in a criminal trial. But what if your lawyer is incompetent, intoxicated, or even sleeps through the whole thing? The Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court recently vacated a murder conviction because the defendant's lawyer fell asleep during the trial. While murder is usually compelling storytelling, to my surprise, enough lawyers have fallen asleep during criminal trials that there is fairly extensive precedent for when it is considered a violation of a defendant's Sixth Amendment rights. In the case of Massachusetts' highest court, a defendant can get a new trial if their lawyer sleeps through substantial portions of the trial or during key parts such as witness testimony. So go ahead, dear listeners, and grab that extra cup of coffee. It's a great time of the year to be a sports fan with the NFL playoffs underway, but it should be noted that arrests at football events are increasing. About 40% of NFL fans have reported they've witnessed a crime during games. The top 5 teams with the most arrests may surprise you. It's the San Francisco 49ers, the Oakland Raiders, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the New York Jets. Fans who are arrested typically get in trouble for public intoxication, property damage, criminal trespass, even terroristic threatening, and homicide. Penalties range from ejection and bans to fines, imprisonment, or lifetime stadium bans. So celebrate responsibly, avoid legal consequences, don't run onto the field, and go ahead and cheer for your team unless your team is the Green Bay Packers. That's it for now. As always, you can find more information about these topics and others on FindLaw.com. If you have questions, comments, or interesting legal stories to share, please reach me at FindLawPodcasts@ThomsonReuters.com.